What's going on, everybody? It's Jeff Grammer with the Albuquerque Journal, and this is the ABQJournal Sports Live pregame from the pit. Tonight, Colorado State Rams, hottest team in the Mountain West, playing the UNM Lobos, who, because of a few breaks last night and because of the position they put themselves in. I'm not going to discredit what they've done to get in this position, but they did have everything break the right way last night with some games around the Mountain West. And if the Lobos win tonight, Saturday's game in Logan, Utah will be a winner-take-all for the outright Mountain West Championship. That is a crazy thought for a lot of fans who were slow to adopt what Eric Olin was doing here. The first sellout of the season was just Saturday. Tonight will not be a sellout. It'll be a good 3,000 short of that probably. And a lot of fans on board with what Eric Olin is doing, and a lot of fans still critical that certainly join us on this show and on social media whenever they are struggling. And then they get real quiet when they aren't. So tonight's game, though, is Colorado State team that is the hottest team in the Mountain West. They did go undefeated in February. They have won 7 games in a row. No other team in that stretch in the month of February in the Mountain West lost fewer than 2 games. So they were 7-0. A couple other teams had 2 losses out of 7. And if you look at what San Diego State's done in the last 5 games, what Utah State's done in the last 5 games, I think Utah State's lost 3 of 5, and I believe San Diego State's like 4 of 6 now that they've lost. Meanwhile, the Lobos are actually, it hasn't always been pretty. Certainly wasn't so at Fresno State, but they're winning. They did lose a road game at Nevada that a lot of people, again, were pretty critical and said, welcome to the NIT. Well, that is not true. They still have everything in front of them to play for. They are still in the bubble hunt. They are in the bubble conversation. They are in a Mountain West championship conversation. I would be shocked if the winner, the outright winner of the Mountain West, doesn't get an at-large berth as well. Their metrics would be good enough because their metrics would obviously include a win Saturday if the Lobos do win tonight. Or it's going to be Utah State that should be in, although they're dropping now. All right, I mean, you get blown out by UNLV, it's going to hurt all those computer metrics quite a bit, and that's what they did last night. They got blown out. It wasn't close ever. And that was done without Dre Gibbs-Lawhorn doing what Dre Gibbs-Lawhorn does, which is take over games. He had scored 72 points last week. He's averaged 36 a game in 2 games and was the Mountain West Player of the Week. Last night, he didn't score in the first half. Ended up not scoring till early in the second half, or was it late in the first? No, it was early in the second half that he ended up scoring for the first time. And it was everybody else. UNLV just dominated Utah State, and it really wasn't about Dre Gibbs-Lawhorn taking over a game, which has really been their only recipe for winning lately, until last night. And they did it against the number 1 team in the league, and there you go. So, regardless of what happens tonight, the Lobos are now locked in to they cannot finish below the 3 seed in the Mountain West tournament. They are guaranteed a top 4 finish, a top 3 finish rather, and they cannot drop below a top 3 seed. They have actually right now a better chance than do the San Diego State Aztecs for the number 1 seed and for a conference championship. San Diego State cannot get the 1 seed. The only 2 teams that can get the 1 seed at this point are, in fact, the Lobos, which have a 25%, about 23% chance based on probabilities of the remaining games, and the Utah State, obviously Aggies, that have about a 70 whatever remaining is left, I guess 76 or so % chance of getting that number 1 seed, and their only game left is what's going on Saturday in Logan with the Lobos in town. But what's interesting is Utah State is not playing very well right now. Utah State last night got blown out and just hasn't been playing very good. Looks like assistant coach Coach Waterman is about to join us. Let me flip this around and we'll start taking your questions as well. We got Nick in saying, GG. What's going on? Have you been to Dayton before? I have not. I know there's a good chance that Dayton could be on the travel itinerary. There is a chance based on where everybody is right now. I can tell you this: nobody goes to Dayton that wins the conference tournament. So if you win your league's automatic berth, you will not go to the conference tournament. Too loud?
Little.
We've got our guest now. Mr. Grammar, who's in here.
I can't hear you.
You can't hear me?
No.
Okay, I'll turn it up. There we go. All right, so you can hear me now? Interesting. There we go. Okay. So you can hear me now?
Yeah.
All right. So we're on now. Scott, Coach Waterman is here. Coach, thank you for being on.
Always appreciate it. Last week, a little technical, or last Saturday, a little technical difficulty.
I'm telling you, like this is blown by so fast that this being the final home game of the season caught up with me so quick, and it always does that. The season kind of drags on, and then all of a sudden it's over like that. From your standpoint, from a coach's standpoint, does it catch up with you pretty quick again?
So I would say August through December kind of drag, and then January, February fly by. And it's just because you get into a rhythm, you get into routine, and just boom, 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 game, and there's less practice. But those first couple of months, there's days where it just drags a little bit. So we hate to see it be our last game in the pit tonight, but we're excited that it's not going to be over just yet afterwards.
And you're going to find out how crazy the Thomas and Mack Center can be for the Mountain West Tournament with pit fans that show up there. Now, it's not going to be 15,411 like it was Saturday against San Diego State, but it could be a good 8,000 Lobo fans there, you know? I think I'd say probably 10,000 showed up. That was probably even they were winning back-to-back about 2013 or so. But you guys fill it right back up to that, I'm sure. So, look, you guys have everything in front of you. I know that's a cliche kind of term that coaches use sometimes, but the reality is you guys have 2 games left. You guys win tonight. You have a winner-take-all championship opportunity Saturday. Even if you slip up here or slip up in Logan, you guys still have an NCAA tournament chance if you guys make some noise, you know, at least in the tournament. Your numbers are right there right now. You guys have put yourself in a position. Maybe you would like to be in a better position, but like you guys have put yourself in a position. Ultimately, that's all you can ask.
Yeah, I think first, we have to be 1-0 today. We can't worry about Saturday, next week, the conference tournament, Dayton, or whatever the other regional spots like you were talking when I got on here.
Yeah.
We have to worry about being 1-0 today, have our focus right. Colorado State's won 7 in a row. They're playing well. The first time we played them, they weren't at full strength without their 2 big guys, Jorgensen and Emba. So we have our hands full tonight that we have to make sure that we're starting to peak at the right time too. For as well as we played against San Diego State, there were some things that we still have to work the kicks out. But the biggest testament to our guys is we competed our tails off for 40 minutes in that game, and that's what gave us a chance to win.
When you look back at Saturday's game, first of all, were there any big surprises? I guess really what I'm curious about, Thomas Bouillon for 3 out of 4 halves this year was so physical, out-rebounded one of the toughest teams in the league that plays physical, that usually doesn't let an individual do what Thomas was able to do. Any surprises that you guys were able to do that, or were you confident you guys had something and he had something that could find success against them?
We're confident that when Thomas is on, he's the best big guy in the league.
Yeah.
It should be able to dominate. And obviously part of that comes from his background and being a little bit older. But we're very confident in that. And I think he kind of found himself again. And that was huge for us. And if he continues to do that, we're a very formidable opponent for anybody in this conference on a night in, night out.
I don't know that I've ever heard of a freshman going through senior night, so could be a record tonight. Now, a lot of knocking on wood going on in the pit that maybe he gets a little bit of help and maybe he'll be back next year. But as of right now, just to be clear, Thomas does have 1 year of eligibility granted by the NCAA, and that's the year he's playing. So tonight will be his last home game that we know of, and we'll go from there. All right. We got Ricky Gagnon asking, in your opinion, where are we on the bubble? Is going 1-1 enough, or do we need some net wins? I think the Lobos are going to have to win another game, at least. So, why not just win them all, right?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, we're really worried about tonight.
If you guys can go undefeated today, that would be a good start.
Yeah, that's a great start.
Is the conference tournament the same format next year? No, there's a different number of teams, so I don't know what the format's going to be next year. I would recommend that the tournament go towards, I wouldn't have said it in the current format of the Mountain West, but I would recommend a little bit more power protected of the top either 2 or 4 seeds. Guarantee that they get a bye and maybe even a double bye, depending on the format. I think the new Mountain West better make sure that it does what it can to get its top computer teams a little protection in March. So, all right. That's my opinion. I don't know if you have an opinion on the future season of the Mountain West tournament.
I don't. I just want to. I'm really worried about this year.
All right. So they are a team too that they took. I don't want to say he was a primary point guard ever, because Muniz has been one of their primary points all year. But it seemed to me when you guys played them the first time, Brandon Ricksteiner was doing a lot more point guard duties, and offense has started with him a lot more. They seem to have taken him off quite a bit. And Jace Butler and Muniz do the exclusive point guard duties now. And since they've done that, Ricksteiner has been on the tear. He's hit 5 threes in 2 straight games. Is that something you guys are aware of and are kind of looking at, like having to defend a little differently than the first time?
Yeah, and the first time we played him, Josh Pasquarelli, who was their 3rd leading scorer, was at the wing, and he's tonight. He's out tonight with an ankle injury, I believe, or foot injury. But he was a very dynamic scorer. Recksteiner was more of a shooter, and with Pasquarelli out of the lineup, that's kind of changed their dynamic and made Recksteiner have more of an onus on him to shoot the ball a little bit more. And Butler has stepped up in his role. I think he's averaging 12 or 13 points in his last few games. And then Muniz has always just been a distributor and knows how to play the right way. And we have to do a great job knowing where Recksteiner is, great ball pressure on him, and then being active with our hands on Munoz, not allowing him to make the easy passes that can create good shots for him. But that all goes with our talk defensively. We'll be doing some switching tonight. So we have to make sure that we have good switches. We're not having miscommunications that allow for easy layups or easy threes.
I think, too, that people here, their big men are back. Sean Memba and Kyle Jorgensen are back. If Jorgensen is back, it isn't as though he's a traditional back-to-the-basket big, but what does his being back, what does their having their bigs back do to what they do?
So with Jorgensen especially, because his ability to shoot the ball makes it a little bit more difficult for our matchups if he screens and pops.
Yeah.
So we have to change how we guard ball screens a little bit. But then Emba's just more of a force inside. He's more of a traditional big. But Jorgensen, and they both do a great job, I should say, when they get the ball in the post, passing out, being able to find their shooters. So we always talk about winning in rotation. So when we bring that double, we have to do a great job of communicating, flying to shooters, winning those rotations, contesting shots, making them catch, put the ball on the floor, and not allowing middle.
I think, too, that one thing that they create issues with is they don't let you guys get out transition very much, right? I mean, they get some offensive boards, but they'd rather get back and not let you get out transition. Yeah. Is that accurate?
They send 3 back and crash 2.
Yeah. If you guys don't get out in transition, there's still obviously a path to win, but it's a whole lot easier for you guys when you can get a few transition buckets.
And the first time we played them, we were really effective. Tomasoff got a couple rebounds, was able to push the break. Yeah, we got kicked ahead and then reversed to Javis for a 3, and we got a couple other good shots because he was able to get it and push. So that'll be critical tonight.
Desert Lobo on YouTube, you're asking, was a banner raised for the 2025 NCAA tournament appearance? There are no banners in the pit. So no, there was not a banner raised. They don't do banners in the pit. All right. Now that this is about to be postseason time, I'm curious what your practices look like. Not details, obviously, but like how much have you guys scaled back? What you guys do in practice, physicality-wise? Is it at this point? Is there ever any physical? Is there any physical practices at this point?
So Monday we actually went pretty hard.
Yeah.
I mean, it wasn't very long. It was probably an hour and 10-minute practice.
Yeah.
But we went 5-on-5 live. We did some breakdown drills, and that will probably be our last hard practice. But we felt it was really necessary with the week we had to keep our guys focused and to keep getting better. That we went hard Monday, and then yesterday we probably went for 50 minutes shooting, went through their stuff, reviewed some of our stuff, and that's more of a traditional what the rest of this is going to look like. Tomorrow will be light. Friday will be prep, same as yesterday, and we'll do it again Saturday.
Yeah, Saturday, regardless of what happens tonight, Saturday it's a tall order to go to Logan, Utah, and be ready to perform in a midday game.
Yeah.
So good luck with that, first of all. Do you get any pep in your step? Does the team have any pep in your step, or the staff, after a light night like last night, where you guys are able to monitor scores, if not watch games?
Yeah.
And look, it wasn't that you guys did anything last night about it, but there were one team in front of you, one team you were tied with, and one team behind you. All three of them lost. In every scenario, it helped you guys at least a little. I know you're focusing on this game, but when that happens the night before, does it give you guys a little extra pep in your step, or does it almost put more pressure on you not be prepared for a game like this then?
I mean, we recognize it, and I think we jokingly said the stars kind of aligned last night, but it doesn't matter unless we win tonight.
Right.
So, I mean, and it's college basketball. You know, I think if you were to say 11 of the 12 teams, anybody could beat anybody in any night in our conference. And
Yeah.
Yeah, you look at San Jose, they've taken a lot of teams close to the end, just haven't been able to pull them out.
They beat Nevada before they beat Utah State and you guys.
Yeah,
I'm sorry. They beat Nevada before Nevada beat Utah State and you guys.
So, like, anything can happen. Like, we monitor, we know what's going on, but we walked in today knowing that it's business about Colorado State.
Yeah.
We talk about it. We all watch because, playing Utah State, San Diego State, potential to play Boise. So we're all having our eyes and ears on all the games. But, yeah, we got to worry about today.
Worrying about today, worrying about yourself. Come tournament time, especially 3 in 3 days, is the hope. There's not a lot of time to do a lot of game prep and walkthroughs with the team about that opposing team. So I'm curious if this time of year, if focusing on yourself is already kind of the primary part of it, or you want to get these games so you are focusing a lot on who they are in game prep, and then you wait till next week to do the one game. You don't have a lot of turnaround to prepare for that next day's opponent. Is there more or less preparing for the other team like this week? Regular?
It's the same.
Okay.
Yeah, it's the same.
So next week it kind of has to start, but even then.
Yeah, and being in enough conference tournaments and playing in 3 games in 3-day situations, you can only review so much.
Yeah.
You have to go out and you hope that over the course of 31 games, 100 plus practices, your team has instilled the fundamentals enough to know how we need to play with whatever actions that we're going to see, because whatever our fundamentals are, our team's going to have an adjustment ready, so we have to be able to make our adjustments as we go through in real time and find those solutions.
Last one for me, and I'll let you get back to work. It's the last game this season in the pit. Let's go ahead and say it's the last game in the pit. I don't know where you're going to be next year, right? I mean, it's a transient business. And I'm curious, is there a lasting memory? Maybe, I guess the hope is the memory hasn't been made yet. But if you can only pick one memory to this point, is there one lasting memory of being on this Lobo coaching staff this year with this team?
Oh, there's a lot. First of all, for those that don't know, the coaching staff as a whole is an amazing group of people, just people in general.
Yeah.
To be around and work with every day. And I've worked on 7 different coaching staffs, a lot of different coaches, but the basketball knowledge, the goodness of the people, how much they care about not just winning, but the Albuquerque community, our players, and investing in this program is huge. Every day is a memory. Like, I walk in and I pinch myself every day, because for as many years I've been coaching, it'd be like, you hear about the pit, you see it, and it's not even what it's cracked up to be or what I imagined it to be.
Yeah.
So, like, you could say the San Diego State game, heck, you could say the Alabama State game. Like, I will always have phenomenal memories of the pit and my time here. Hopefully longer, who knows what's going to happen, but like just how special this place truly is really stands out.
I am curious too. If not curious, like I think it's safe to say people who are fans of here and are following this and just follow the team take for granted that at that Alabama State game back in November, and people were like, "Oh my goodness, there's only 12,500 there. What happened to the pit? What's going on?" To you guys, like you guys were like, "This is amazing."
Yeah.
And built it back up to Saturday was a sellout, and it was deafening in here. People take it for granted a little bit that 12,500 isn't happening everywhere in college basketball.
No, and
very few places. In fact.
And if you think about outside of Mike Roberts on our staff, we've all been at smaller schools, so. Heck, 1,000 fans is it's huge. Like, I mean, I spent, Coach Olin spent, this last couple years in the Big West. I was in the Big West earlier. And if you got 4,000 fans and it was sold out, that would be like your team almost may not know what to do because they're not used to it when you had 1,000 fans for most of the year. So it is a special place, and that's coming from an Aggie. I'm a New Mexico State guy saying that. It is a special place. So, all right. Appreciate you, man. All right, thanks, Jeff.
I know you guys got a lot of basketball left in front of you, but go 1-0 tonight.
Yep, and hopefully we'll be doing this again soon.
Appreciate you. Thanks. All right, guys, let's get some grammar vision going here with the turnaround of the camera. First shot rider when you need it. I would have loved the grammar vision turnaround there. All right, one last little move here. Let's do that instead. How about that? All right, chances of Lobos winning out regular season 50-50 or no chance? I wouldn't say it's 50-50. I don't think, the probabilities of it, I think are out there. I think it's about 20-some, 30-some%. That they are favored tonight. They will not be favored Saturday. They'll be underdogs by 8 points, I'm sure. So, it's going to be hard to win both of these games. It's going to be hard to win either one. Again, the Colorado State team, the hottest team in the conference right now, 7-0 in the month of February. So, it's Coach Waterman in the building. He was just down on the court a moment ago warming up with them, and Coach P is definitely in the house. Love Coach P. Nothing wrong with little Coach Waterman's love. A couple big games this week. They call me Captain Obvious. I'm starting to get Vegas fever. There you go, John. Get you some Vegas fever going. Teams that haven't done much in the NCAA tournament typically don't raise banners. Reality hurts sometimes. Dave Thompson on YouTube is saying setting up for an interesting mountainous tournament in Colorado State UNM. Playing really good. These dark horse teams. Let me do this real quick. These dark horse teams will make a run. Lobos will win tonight. But most likely, it'll be a nail-biter. I agree with you. I think it'll be a close game. They are favored by 8.5. I picked Colorado State to be within that 8.5. Which doesn't mean anything. I'm not good at this. So, Nick, I've noticed a few people saying Olin hasn't connected with fans yet. But I wouldn't say he failed at that. He's building something. And that takes time. Remember how Weir and Patino's first season's different. Year one is never the full story. Do you see this as a real issue or just something that gets exaggerated when the program is resetting? The connecting with the fans in Albuquerque is hard to do when I would tell you that the fans had I'll just say it. Some Lobo fans did not all Lobo fans did it, but there were a lot of Lobo fans who did not make a very welcoming arrival for this coaching staff because they were all from schools that nobody had heard of. All these players that nobody had heard of. Who's this D2 guy, Luke Hopt? Who's this guy that nobody else was recruiting named Jake Hall? Tomislav Bullion, why did nobody? He has no offers. Who else offered him? Seems to be the favorite go-to for anybody who wants to discredit any Lobo recruiting news. And I get that in general. But when that is coming from so many Lobo fans, they see it, right? Like it wasn't every Lobo fan, but I am not going to lie. It was not a very welcoming welcome from Lobo Nation for this coaching staff. It was noticed, by the way, not just by me. Your volume got quiet. I apologize for that. I don't know what is going on with the volume. I think when Coach got here, and we turned his headset on, it did something to my little mixer here that says the volume is on. I hope it is on right now. I hope you guys can hear me. Upset in Albuquerque tonight, 87-85 Rams. W. Could be, man. Could be, Kylo. Can you guys hear me now? Can you hear me now? Let me check this out here. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Hello, hello, hello? Can you guys hear me now? Can you guys hear me now? All right. I don't know what's going on with the mic since he came here, but we are pretty close to wrapping this up anyway. We are at 39 minutes before tip-off in the pit. And, all right. Much better now. It's saying, all right, thank you guys. I don't know what I did, but anyway, do you have any further info on the 2 foreign bigs being recruited, such as size, country from, and other schools pursuing? I don't know the other schools pursuing. I will tell you that between Tom Tinklewitz and Eric Olin, they don't care who else is recruiting a player. They have some connections overseas. They've had some connections for years that some of the players going to UC San Diego for years, especially from overseas, that would go to them and see if they were interested. And when they were, they'd go there. They don't look at recruiting services and see who else is recruiting. So I don't know who else is recruiting these people. But I will tell you there's one from Austria and one from Germany. Both good chance to play for Eric Olin next year, wherever Eric Olin may be. If it is in the pit, they will be in the pit. If he is elsewhere, they will probably be elsewhere as well. And I will tell you right now that they have a lot of connections overseas. I'll just say that. 50 Gaming, yes, you guys can hear me. Thank you guys. It seems that teams that play at high level early in the season, they struggle in February. Example, San Diego State, Utah State, and other teams peak at a high level. Example, UNM, Colorado State. Yeah, it could be. I mean, you don't want to peak too early, they say. Other coaches will tell you, I'd rather just be playing well as much as I can. Today's supposed to go 1-0. Well, let's try and be peaking today. And then the next game, they'll try and do the same thing. So, yeah, there you go. John Romero's in on YouTube. Congratulations, AD Ryan Berryman. That is true. The big news out of UNM today has nothing to do with basketball. Yeah, kind of. Does have something to do with basketball, but Ryan Berryman had the interim tag lifted. The 32-year-old is the new athletic director of the University of New Mexico, and he will succeed Fernando Lobos. So congratulations, Ryan. Happy for the guy. Also would have been happy for Jalen Dominguez had he got it. And I'm sure I would have been happy to get to know whoever the other guy that was a finalist. There was a sitting athletic director who I frankly kind of thought was if I was a betting man, I would have said it probably would have ended up being him. Had I listened to a couple people the last couple days, I thought they were leaning towards him, and instead they went with Ryan Berryman. Feel awful for a guy who's become a friend, Jalen Dominguez. Feel great for a guy who's become a friend in Ryan Berryman. And 2 New Mexicans, 2 local guys, live in the same community as me, and I like seeing people who are from here get an opportunity to continue doing big things here. And both of them already have done big things. So feel bad for one. I'm happy I don't feel bad for 2. Can I ask Coach if he knows? Oh, he showed Boise the blueprint for beating San Diego on beating the switches. Yeah, I'll ask him about that. I should have asked Scott while he was here. I apologize for not getting that in before he left. Is Ryan in the building? No, now that he's AD, he is. I don't think he'll be coming in. Yeah, he is. Ryan will be here tonight. He is here tonight. I don't know exactly where he is right now, but yes, Ryan is here. Jerry's in. I really like Olin and hope he stays for a while. However, it is his job to win the fan base over and connect regardless of the response. I don't think Eck was that welcomed either. I would disagree with you 100%. 100%. I would disagree with you. I will tell you what didn't happen to Jason Eck, and it wasn't Lobo fans constantly saying, we're going to be awful. Who the hell is this player? Who the hell is that player? To every player that he tried to recruit here and did recruit here, they were almost universally criticized when they signed with the Lobos. And these players remember it. I mean, their families remember it. They love being here now, love the support they're getting now. But it was not the warm welcome that Lobo fans want to say. And to say now that, it's his job to fix that. Okay, or you could have a great coach and maybe try and welcome him and give him a chance to do what he was hired to do before you start criticizing him and a bunch of high school kids or college transfers that nobody knows. You could just present yourself with a little bit more class and then insulting a bunch of kids that you've never met that are coming to your favorite basketball team. I don't know. Is this last game in the pit for Bullion? It is as of right now. The NCAA gave him 1 year of eligibility. And we've known that. We've reported that. It is it's not a surprise. Some people are, I guess, learning that news this week. It was reported before the season. UNM said it before the season. It is out. The NCAA gave him 1 year of eligibility. They're going to hope to get a second. Does having Ryan BAD help our chance of keeping Olin? Yes. Not having Ryan would have been a big blow to keeping Olin. Having Ryan at least helps, yes. With Berryman in charge, maybe the odds increase with Olin to stay. Yes, I would say that is accurate, yes. So, all right, guys, 34 minutes to go before tip-off. I am wrapping up. ABQJournal.com is where you guys can see all our coverage. You can also, tomorrow morning, emptying the notebook, 7 a.m., 8 a.m., one of those two. And you can follow me on social media as well. And thanks for being here for the pregame show. We'll have some of these shows next week in Las Vegas, too. Appreciate you guys for being here.